Hey there, everybody. Thought we would do a live show. Let me make sure that I'm muted because that would be bad if I wasn't. Because then we have to listen to me twice, and nobody wants to do that. So, I drove to Kentucky yesterday and picked up my oldest daughter, my oldest child, and we went to Cincinnati with her boyfriend, and we did some shopping. I did bump into Chris at one point. She gave me this awesome shirt. I brought the awesome. What did you bring? I think this is a great shirt. So I did some shopping. I thought I would share that with you guys. Let's see. And I just invited a couple of folks to join us. But yeah, I bought a lot of a fair amount of stuff. There's a fair amount. Of course, I'm going to have to get Holly here tomorrow so that she can help me get the stuff photographed and up in live. So it looks like we got 4 people here. Linda is here. Hey, Linda. Linda went to a 99-cent sale this morning at Goodwill early, and hopefully she was able to find some good stuff, and maybe, I don't know if she's making a video about it or not, but yeah, so that's pretty awesome. I do need to make a sales video. I've just been dreading it. I don't know why, but hey, Faye, and Faye Roberson is in the house. But I may do one maybe tomorrow or something. I don't know. Aunt Zip is with us. Thanks for being here. So I have about 3 tubs with a little bit of overflow worth of stuff to share with you guys. So I thought I'd just jump into it and show you what I bought. And it's kind of a mishmash of all different kinds of things. And I just, I don't know. I just kind of went crazy with some stuff. But hola, mi amiga. Amalia is here. Hey, Amalia. Thanks for being here. I know it's a little early-ish, not too bad, 9 o'clock on the West Coast. So I thank you for being here. I want to get this big item out of the way first, just because I need to set it aside. Okay, I got you, Linda. I'm going to move this. Hey, Jim Dittmeyer is with us. Thanks for being here. So I bought this, and you can't see close up, but it is a cross stitch, a completed cross stitch, and it actually has some beading up in here, up in here, up in here. This was done in 2006. They signed the back. It looks like maybe some folks were on a mission trip, and the people that they were visiting did this for them. I'm not sure, but I paid $4 for this, and the frame is kind of crappy. It's not very good quality. So I'm going to take this cross stitch out of here and sell just a cross stitch, because it'll just save on shipping, and that, you know, whoever gets it can just do the framing that they want to do with this. Hi, Kiari. But I'm going to put this up a little closer and see if you can see the detail. I'm not sure if you can. But anyway, I paid $3.99 for this. And this is a pretty big cross stitch. So I think I'm going to price it pretty high, somewhere in the $40 to $50 range for this. So let me set this out of the way. And let's just jump into a couple more things. So I bought this really cool brass sundial, and it does have the hand that goes on it. And I hate that it's so blue in this room. It's so blue. Don't know why it's blue, but it is in fact blue. Gloria Gonzalez is here, and she said, "Hey, Sarah, I've got you on the big screen now. I can use my iPad to actually listen and watch." That is a great idea. Thanks, Kiara. I thought it was a beautiful cross stitch too, and it's a fairy or an angel. It looks more like a fairy. And I think that subject matter will draw interest because people like that kind of stuff. But anyway, this brass plate I paid $3.99 for. It's not really worth a great deal, maybe like 15 bucks. I might keep it, or I may give it to my sister to put in her flower garden because she might enjoy that. So I didn't look up anything yesterday. I just grabbed stuff, you know. So I bought this big bag of what I didn't like. I couldn't tell what it is. Faye said, I could have swore you said I'm going to take it out of the frame and send it to Faye. I must be hearing things. You're funny, Faye. Diane Dodd says, I'm taking inventory of a crap load of stuff to consign for a friend. Why can't I say no? I don't know, Diane, but I've learned to say, I really don't enjoy selling for other people, but I'll show you how to do it. And then that usually either they're interested in learning how to do it or they're not at all. And Diane is confirming that that is what I said to Faye. So I bought this for $5 and I really didn't know what it was when I bought it. Turns out it's new in plastic and it's a Lazy Susan. It's got a Lazy Susan bottom and it's these plastic compartments. I'm just going to open one to show you. That are slotted in the bottom, so you can actually put the ice in the bottom of this bowl that sits on the Lazy Susan, and then put your cold food like cocktail shrimp or shrimp stew, shrimp barbecue, shrimp sandwich, shrimp soup. No, wait, that's different. But like your vegetables and stuff, and make like a cold tray that stays cold. So this is brand new, and it does have a dip bowl with a lid in the middle. This sells on the Walmart website for about $30 shipped. I haven't found it really on the eBay website, but this might be a local sale. I paid $5 for this, so maybe I'll put it up for about $20. Oh, yes. Diane said, Bubba, I gotta get Bubba. That is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie. I just thought it was an incredible movie. I think it came out in like 1994, something like that. I just loved it. So I got this at the bins yesterday, and this is a 10 lampshade, a vintage 10 lampshade. I paid a couple of bucks for it. It probably weighs 1 to 2 pounds. And I think I can get about $25 to $30 for it is what I'm going to list it for. There's not one like this listed. So I thought, what the heck? In case you were to buy one of these vintage lamps where there was damage to the shade or no shade on it, then this would be perfect. This is actually in pretty good condition. Do you want to see me throw shade? Because I will. No, okay, I'm not gonna throw shade. Just put that right there. Keep that from falling off there. Will is with us. Hey, Will, thanks for being here. Faye said, let's go back to the cross stitching. Faye, if you want that cross stitch, I will take it out of the frame and send it to you. Val is here. Hey, Val, thanks for being here. I did get a couple of runs that I will show you here in a bit. And I got some just bread and butter kind of stuff. I picked these up at the bins. These are Black & Decker single source lithium batteries for an 18 volt. And I have the drill that these fit. And so I have the charger that charges these. So I paid a couple bucks a piece for these because they probably weigh 2 to 3 pounds. And I think these were 89 cents a pound. They said, hey, Will, Sarah's giving me a cross stitch. So anyway, these look like they go for about $20 each. And after I have charged them and tested to make sure that they work correctly, I'll get these listed and sold. See what else. I picked this up at the bins too. It's a game called Kingdom Builder. I paid a couple of bucks for this, probably less than 3. Oh, I just had a sale. A cha-ching. Sold some yo-yos that I bought for 99 cents for $15.44 shipped. Not a big sale, but it's the first one of the day. Will wants to know, Faye, is that legal for me to give her a cross stitch? But anyway, this game, it kind of looks fun. It doesn't do very well on eBay, maybe 15 bucks at most. And I'm thinking my grandsons are huge board game fans. So, hey, thanks. I'm wearing the t-shirt you got me. My grandsons are such fans of games like these, and it's a pretty cool game. It's got all these boards. I got no idea. I don't know if it's cool or not. It looks cool. So I think I'm probably just going to give that to them. I'm only charging you $700. I actually am not charging you anything, so don't worry about that. So, you know, you win some, you lose some get rained out. Okay, I don't know what's happening with my phone for real. Let's see. I bought this for my mom because you guys know I keep. Hey, Andy. Anyone cooking corned beef and cabbage today? Oh, it's St. Patrick's Day, isn't it? I am not. However, if anybody wants to invite me for corned beef and cabbage, especially if you've got cornbread, I am in. Okay, because I could totally do that. I bought this. You know, you guys know I'm helping like redecorate my mom's bathroom. So I did buy these things for her. It's the garbage can, and it has like the little cup, the soap dish, and a little trinket box, and the tissue box cover. Now we don't know what color we're doing yet. I'm just kind of winging it, buying her stuff. I didn't pay very much for this. I think $3 or $4. And whatever we don't use, like I'm just buying up a bunch of stuff, and whatever we don't use, I'll just resell either locally at the consignment store, or I'll sell on eBay if it sells well enough there. Let's see. Krista, she usually does but we thought we would be out all day today. I'm wondering if I can get corned beef and cabbage anywhere except a pub. I'll have to check. So I made yogurt the other day, and as I've said before, my husband's Middle Eastern, so he has like some weird eating habits, and he has almost plowed through 2 quarts of yogurt in like 2 days, eating it with olive oil. But so anyway, I bought these. These are that like styrofoam kind of stuff. Polystyrene, whatever they are. But I thought they were kind of cool planters, and I got 2 of them for about $3 and something. I got them at St. Vincent Paul, and those are going to go on my front porch, probably with petunias in them. I picked up, let's see, Val says she's Irish there too. You know, I'm from Kentucky, and my mom is from like southeastern Kentucky, and right there where like the Appalachian Mountains are, which we like to call Appalachia, there is a huge Scots-Irish, like that was a huge Scots-Irish settlement where people settled, like West Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee, like right in there. And my mom is from that area, and her family name was Carmack. So we definitely got some Irish in us. And I mean, there are a lot, not that this is a strictly Irish trait, but there are a lot of redheads in my family. My son was a redhead. My mom is a redhead. My sister and brother are both redheads. I mean, I've got uncles that were redheads, so lots of redheads. And matter of fact, I'm the only blonde out of 7 kids. So, but so these are Chinese practice reader textbooks and workbooks. One of the workbooks has been written a little bit, but they don't have the CDs. I bought bought these for $5. I'm going to try and get about 20 to 25 bucks for them. Let's see. I picked up this Warhammer magazine. It's from last summer. I paid 69 cents for it. This is probably a 10 to 12 $10 to $12 item. Let's see. Jim and Carrie, Jim and Carrie. Do you see what I just did to your names? Jerry and Kim. See, if you want to go incognito, you can be Jim and Carrie. Are both here, and they say hello. Val says, well, part Irish. Everyone came over and mixed Irish, Polish, Russian, German. I'm a mutt. We're Americans. We're all mutts for the most part. Diane says she's Irish, Scottish, German. Gina is here. Hey, Gina. Good morning. Did I hear you say yogurt and olive oil? Yes, I have not seen this happen yet. Like, I wasn't home all day yesterday, so I didn't see my husband eat that with my own eyes. But seriously, I did a gallon of milk and it made about 2 quarts. I thought it would make more yogurt, but it made about 2 quarts of yogurt. And he has almost demolished it. And he says he's eating it with olive oil. I have no idea what he's doing. But he said it was really, really good yogurt, like what he was used to people making back home. So I have to do it again now. Super, super, super easy. If you've never made yogurt, it's a matter of Will says I'm part English, Irish, Welsh, Roman, Norman, and Viking. Yep, you're mixed up like the rest of us. So these are brand new Caruso steam curlers. I paid 99 cents for this. I'm hoping to get about 10 or 15 for these. Anyway, the yogurt is essentially warming milk up to 180 degrees. I think you cool it off to 110 degrees, and then you add like a couple of tablespoons of yogurt to it to start it, and then you just let it sit for 12 hours. I wrapped mine in a blanket and put it in a cooler and just let it sit for 12 hours. So that's, yeah, he's loving it. Val says, Viking, have you had fermented heron? Gina said, I make yogurt once or twice years ago. It didn't get thick enough, but it did taste good. So mine was not thick enough either. So what I did was I just took a lint-free, like, thin towel, almost cheesecloth-like, but a very thin towel. I just bought it at Walmart in a pack. And I put that in a sieve and put it over a bowl, and I drained out some of the whey, and that made it nice and thick. So, because I was concerned about mine not getting thick enough. Here's one of my home runs. If you see these, pick them up. This is a Conair instant hot lather machine. I paid $5 for this. This one is new in the package, and it will go for about $70 to $80 on eBay, and it's going right now about $139, I think, on Amazon. Now, I can't sell this new on Amazon because the box is kind of schmutzy, and then when I take that big tag off, it's going to leave it kind of yucky. But I can sell it essentially new other on eBay, so I think I'm going to list it there. But if you see these, I don't see the used one. I didn't look to see if the used ones were selling as much, but either way, this would be a good buy. I bet you could sell a used one, a clean used one, for about $30 to $40. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Let's see, right here. I picked these up. These are PSP game cases. I paid $1 for 5 of them. I'm going to try to get about 15 to 20 for those. And those will go first class because they were so lightweight. I paid $4 for this. Faye says so far she wants everything I've thrifted. I thought this was adorable. It's Norwal wallpaper border. It's for a kid's room. And look how darling this is. little trains and bears. So I'm going to have to measure this. It does have some damage here. I'm going to have to measure this to see if it is complete, this roll. But if it's not, I'll sell the two rolls together, and I'll measure how much, like, I'll probably try to get 20 to 25, but I'll measure to see how many feet is on this. So Val says, I watched that show, Better Late Than Never, hilarious. They were Vikings for the day. The fermented herring is the worst smelling food in the world. I can imagine, because, oh my God, Will, that's the funniest joke. I'll get to it in a second. Because it's fish and it's fermented. Well, herring, is it herring? Herring, like the fish herring? I'm assuming what you're saying, and not heron like the bird. But either way, no, thank you. Face. Will said Val H. Is that short for Valhalla? Which is pretty darn funny. And Faye said this border is adorable. I like this too. I paid $4. I'm going to try and get about 20 to 25 for it, just depending on how many feet are on that other roll. I picked up this bag, and it was $8, and it has this little audio Vox personal DVD, like portable DVD player, and it also has the remote, and it looks like the charger for it. And then it also has this little Kobe DVD player. And I think I'm going to sell them separately, of course, but I think I can get $20 to $25 each for them. So I'm pretty okay with that on an $8 investment to get $40 to $50 back. I bought this. This is made by Works, and this is a battery charger for one of those long, oh, actually it's for this battery. And I think I don't know what I just paid for this. I should probably look. I paid $8 for this. I don't remember what I paid for this. But I think this sells for 30 to 40. So I found some good stuff. I did find some good stuff, and I found some bread and butter. The next couple of things are bread and butter. This is a Tassimo machine from Bosch, and I believe that's what it is. I can't get the lid to shut on it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but you know, they try to teach me to read, and I just chew up all the books. But whether or not this works is immaterial, because I paid 99 cents for it. It was marked down. And if I'd like to sell it together, because I think this will sell for about 40. So if I can figure out what I'm doing wrong with the lid, I will, since this one is complete. But if not, I can part it out and sell the reservoir. I can sell a couple of pieces here and this whole piece here. So I'll do fine either way. Either way, I'm going to make $30 to $40 on this Tassimo, which is awesome. It was so awesome, in fact, that it inspired me to buy. Oh, shush. That's going to come out in a minute. Okay. So I bought this Tassimo too, which is missing the reservoir. Blythe Burns is with us from Indiana. Hey, thanks for being here. It's a like a pod system coffee maker. It's kind of like a Keurig, but it's just made by a different company. So clearly the Keurig ended up being more popular, but this is another Tassimo here. And this one is missing the reservoir, but I bought it anyway for this piece and these pieces up here that are removable. I paid 69 cents for this guy. There was just a big markdown on these yesterday. This one also looks complete. I don't know if it's missing a lid here, but this looks like a different model. This one is not complete. I don't know why I said that. It's missing something here, I think. But again, this one I paid 69 cents for. If it, if there's not enough here to make it work, I will part it out. If I can build one out of the parts, I may do that too. And then the last of the coffee making machines. Get this out of here. Whew, sorry. Is about this Senseo, also a coffee pod kind of machine, but it is missing the reservoir. I bought this one. Let's see. Check this price out. Yes, that says 9 cents. 9 pennies I paid for this. So I can't sell this as a whole thing because the reservoir is gone. But this piece will sell, this little tray. This little silver piece will sell. And then this piece will sell. And I've actually already just sold one. I take the screw out and sell this. They don't sell for much, $10, $12, but for a 9-cent investment, I'll take $20, $30 back in parts. And I may part this one out and sell the parts all together. Who knows what I'll do? Who knows? Here is a disc gear CD selector. So you put all of your CDs in here. It does have this little, I'm assuming this one has it. I didn't even check. Let's see. Most of them will have a little thing under the bottom that you can write the locations on. There you go. So you can write down what CDs are in what slot. So you just go and choose the CD, and when you click this, it will actually pull the CD out. So it's up here singly. But these sell for about $30 shipped. I probably will price this somewhere around the $20 range. I paid 69 cents for it. I just bought my mom, because we're doing 3 bathrooms. I just bought my mom this maroon colored shower curtain, and I thought it would go really nice with these little flowers. This is a cheaper just plastic, but I paid $3 for that. So I'm excited about that. This is the ThighMaster, and this has been on my bucket list for a little while. So I did finally find this. I paid $3 for the ThighMaster. I'll probably do 20 to 25. Let's see. This is kind of cool. I paid 50 cents for this. I did open it just so I could see exactly what it was. It looks like wrapping paper, and it is for The Hobbit. So it has some of the scenes from The Hobbit on it, some of the characters from The Hobbit on it. And I just wrote that. That is wonderful. So anyway, well, maybe I didn't. But anyway, this is kind of just cool. I'm going to market this as maybe scrapbooking. Oh, look at Bilbo. And I'm going to see if I can sell it. Oh, you have some of this already, Chris? Yeah, I'm going to see if I can sell it. I don't know if I can or not. It does reference the movie that was coming out in 2013, so I don't know. I don't know if somebody will want it, but I just thought it would be cool for somebody that likes these movies to maybe do a scrapbooking page or something like that. But it does have 3 of those sheets in here. And so I may put it over on Etsy and just see what I can get for it. Faye said, oh boy, a thigh master. Go ahead and call your chiropractor. You'll need him on speed dial. There is no way I'm using that thing. That's for some other fool to use. That ain't for me to use. So here's my other home run. I do have more stuff to show you, but I picked this up yesterday for $6.
I've learned that life is one present defeat after another until you just wish Flanders was dead. Ridiculous.
Isn't this adorable? So
why am I such a loser? Why?
Well, your father was a loser, and his father, and his father. It's late, man.
So this is a Simpsons dome anniversary clock, that kind of thing. And when I didn't look it up actually until I got home yesterday. I think it was when I got home. It was a long day. I was up at 4:30. I didn't get home until almost 8. But anyway, so I picked this up for $6, and I found this selling a couple of new ones sold for about $80, but it looks like I should be able to get $60 out of it as a used one. So I mean, this is like my favorite thing, but it's really cute. And if you're wondering where Maggie is, she's there. She's down the bottom. She sits on the little turning balls. Your balls are turning. Anyway, so that's my favorite score. The rest that I'll show you, oh, here's one more thing. But the rest that I will show you are things that I bought this week with Holly that I didn't get to show you. But this is kind of cool. I got this at the binge yesterday, so it did cost me several dollars. But it is a Samsonite computer bag. It's in pretty good shape, actually. And I just dropped something. I don't know what it was. But it's got the insert. Hey, Linda.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
It does have the insert for the laptop, and it's just a really cool bag. So I'm hoping I can get about $25 for that. And then I picked this up. This is made by Bodum. I paid $5 for this. It's just a really cute teapot, and I think I can get about $25 for this. Faye, I hope that clock sells fast. I just think it's really cute. This is a Delaware cookie press. I don't know if it's complete or not. I haven't gone through it. But I bought this for $5. I think I can get about 30 for that. I showed you this the other night, the last time we were here, I think, with the Wild Stallion and then all of the Hanna-Barbera stuff on the back. I'm going to try and get about 15 or 20 for that. This is made by Party Light. It is, it's got a brass look. I don't know if it's actually brass or if it's cast iron and then painted. But I paid $2 for this, and it was 75% off, so it was actually $8 but marked down. And I looked this up. They don't sell for anything, but this will make a great gift, I'm sure. It's just a pillar for a pillar candle, one of those big 3-wick pillar candles, and either I'll keep it for myself, which probably not. I cannot put another tchotchke in this house. But maybe a sister or something, or a daughter will enjoy it. Bought the slide sorter. I don't know if it will do very well. I paid $5 for it. Let's see. Bought these really cool dance goes. Love me some dance goes. These are, oh, that's a good idea, Chris, an accessory for Mom's bathroom. Because she could actually put other stuff in it. It wouldn't have to be a pillar candle. It could be a little trinket box. Will says brass will be non-magnetic. Yeah, I'll check it. I just haven't. Chris says she has that slide sorter too. Thanks. Andy said Party Light is expensive. I know, but those pieces, there are two sold recently, one for $6 and one for $7. I'm just not going to list them for that. But these are a pair of Danskos that I'll try to get, I don't know, 20 to 25 on. I haven't looked those up. I bought this. This is a sleep apnea mask from ResMed, and I paid $6 for this, but I think I can get about 25 for it. And you have to be careful with medical equipment, but this piece does not require a prescription to buy. The machine does. So I think it should be okay with the mask. And there's a cat in my box. How did this happen? What are you doing in there, nosy pants?
That goes without saying. If there's a cat and a box, the cat will be in the box.
Right, exactly. I am allowed to sell the sleep apnea thing because it does not require a prescription to buy it. But the machine, if it was the machine, I would not be able to sell it because that does require a prescription. The mask is just a replacement piece for the sleep apnea machine. So I bought this Sony Discman for the car. I paid $4 for it. It looks like I can get about 25 for that. These are Johnston and Murphy. They look vintage, actually. Little wingtips. They're not a very good size. They're kind of smallish, but somebody will want them. I paid $3.99 for those. I'm trying to get. I'd already finished answering the question before you finish typing, but I think I can get $25 for those probably. I do have a total dud in here. I'll show you. I paid $3.99 for these San Remo of Italy leather Oxfords. These have black shoestrings in them. They're brown shoes, so I did buy new shoestrings to go in these, but I think I can get about $25 on those. I'm starting to love me some shoes. This is a little Tyco rechargeable battery. I think these are for RC cars or something like that. I paid $1.99. I think I can get 15 for that. And then I did buy some wallpaper border. You know how I am with this stuff. Let's see. This is for like a baby nursery, and I got 2 rolls of that. It looks kind of unisex. This is, I think these are the same. Since this one's already torn up, let's just open it. Let's just open it. Thrifty Paper Garden. Hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. Let's see. And if I can just get it open, they put a label on it that should peel off pretty easily, right? Because we know it's paper and they know that you're going to use it. So there's that. Lord have mercy. Oh, I got it upside down. So it's this laser cutout clothesline. Isn't that cute? So I'm hoping that will sell for somebody's laundry room, since I do have 2 rolls of it. That's probably the perfect size. I paid 49 cents a roll for this, so pretty cheap. And I'll try to get 20 to 25. It just depends if I can find comps or not. But yeah, really, really cute border. I really like that. If I had a laundry room that wasn't in the pit of a basement that I have, maybe I would use that. So here is my total dud. This is made by Smart Lab, and it's basically a toy. This is some kind of room security system for a kid. It's not worth anything. It only sells, I paid $2 for it, and I thought I'll just take a risk. This thing sells for about $10 or $12 new. So I'll just throw it away or redonate it or whatever, but not going to fool around with that. I haven't checked this to see if it works yet, but I just thought it was something cute. This is made by Sharper Image, and it's a little butterfly that flutters its wings, I guess. I don't know if it lights up or anything, but I just need to put batteries in that and test it. And holy schmolies, we're done. The only other thing that I bought was another roller shade that I use for a background, because I got this for $2. So there we go. That's what I bought. And it was a fun, oh, there's a couple more rolls of paper. Here, this one is it's like pine cones. I don't know why I buy the pine cone ones, but and this one, I think this one will sell well. This has got birds on it. Hard to see, but this one's got a cardinal on it and what looks like a blue jay, tail of a blue jay. So 2 rolls, I'll probably sell that together. But again, this one, these were 99 cents each. So I love me some wallpaper border. It sells. I mean, some of it takes longer than others, but it does sell. Thrifty Paper Garden said, I sold perfume yesterday and I discovered the push down cap was missing. As I ran around the house looking for it, after a half an hour, I stepped on it. Whew, that was a close call. That is the kind of stuff that I'm doing. So let me just tell you that, so yesterday I was supposed to ship this little part for a ceramic crock grill that people use in their kitchen, like a little electric grill. Can't find it. Cannot find it. It's an $8 sale plus shipping. I mean, it's nothing. But dang, I don't want a defect for having to cancel. So I thought I'll take the risk of a late shipping defect and then try to find one, because I do buy those grills occasionally. I would have probably lost money initially, but if I had to part out another one, I would have made money back. But do I get a text from my bestie at the end of the day saying, found it? She found one. I don't know if she had it, if she bought it at the bins or where she got it, but she ended up shipping it for me too. So I just changed the address, the shipping address to hers on the label, and emailed her the label. I'm like, it does not get any better than that to have a friend like that. So Chris, I appreciate you. TPG says, my sweet husband helped me. He's so understanding, or at least doesn't want his life to be miserable. He's a smart man. So Linda, what you got going on?
What do I have going on?
What'd you
buy? Did a couple garage sales yesterday. Still not a lot of garage sales yet, but we're still pre-garage sale season here. Usually you don't see them until April. But they have been popping up this month because the weather's been so nice. And apparently Colorado became California weather-wise. So that I hit Goodwill this morning. They had their 99-cent jean sale. I only picked up a couple pairs of jeans because I just still have so many from the last time, but everything else is 50% off. So I picked up a few other items there. But yeah, I haven't listed in a few days, so my sales really slowed down yesterday. So I want to get on to stuff listed today.
Nice. Cool. So Thursday was the day that I was talking about the, is there an echo? One of these days I'll get this fixed. I just have to go out and spend the money for a new monitor, I think. We'll fix it. But yeah, it's too cold here in Sif. There's no garage sales here either. It's going to be 23 degrees tonight and it's freezing rain today, so nothing. But so Thursday was the day that I did the video about the scamming situation. I was able to find another email associated with the scammers that I am going to call PayPal about and report to them, so maybe they can get some more of the money back. I did send the monitor I bought would not work with my computer. for whatever reason, it would not recognize that it was connected to a computer, but I only paid $15 for it shipped, so I really can't complain. But anyway, and I did email the seller basically and said, you know, this doesn't work with my computer. It would be good to know that. And I wasn't asking for a replacement. I wasn't asking for a refund. I wasn't trying to get anything, but a response would have been nice. You know, they didn't even respond.
They didn't even respond to you?
Mm-mm. So, which is kind of crappy. I think they could have at least responded. But anyway, while I was going through all that scamming stuff on Thursday, and I did send invoices through PayPal. I did have one person pay so far out of 6. I have another person that's communicated with me and said that they thought they got charged twice, but they weren't sure, but they were going to work with PayPal. And if they weren't charged, they would pay me. They keep me up to date. So, and then the other 4 people I haven't heard from, which is not that I'm kind of expecting it. But I had an over $400 day on Thursday. Like between the sales on eBay and Amazon, it was over $400 for Thursday. So, you know, it all came back to me. Like all of the money ended up coming back to me anyway. I ended up selling 6 of those packages of typewriter ribbon that I had just bought that essentially were free with that typewriter. And 5 of them sold for $26.99 plus shipping on eBay, and 1 sold for $29.99 shipped over on Amazon. So, I mean, I had a good day. So I am not complaining about it. If I don't get the money back, I just don't get it back. But this is a lesson for me and everybody. Like it was costly, but still, I needed it, and I needed to share it with everybody. So anyway, I am going to try and get a little listing done. And close that because that's just a distraction. Yeah, unfortunately, I got scammed, but I'm glad I was able to share it at least so that other people know what to be looking for, watching for. So I'm happy those yo-yos sold. I didn't expect those yo-yos to sell. And I sold a sweater. I'm a clothing seller. Oh, you know what these little scammers need is a bunch of middle-aged menopausal women showing up at their door. Like that would be terrifying. Oh, well, not only would we berate them, we'd make them clean their room. Poor guys. So, what's everybody working on today? What are you trying to get listed? I got a whole mess.
I got more cross-stitch kits at an estate sale.
Oh, nice.
Cross-stitch. And this little kind of southwestern Indian one.
Oh, that's cool.
This was a nice find at an estate sale. New in box, never taken out. VHS rewinder. Be able to sell this. Actually, I got it for $5. I'll be able to sell it on Amazon. Current listings are in the 80s. I question whether it'll go for that much. It goes for about 50 on eBay, so I'll probably try to get about 65, 70 on Amazon.
Nice. Does it sell often?
Yeah, actually, it is a pretty good seller. There were several sold on eBay, so that's usually a good sign as to it moving on Amazon as well. So that was probably my best find at that estate sale, because super easy being Amazon. I'll ship it into the warehouse and nice easy profit there. I seen a couple others. It's amazing how often I find those still new in the box, and I much prefer to sell them that way. I have sold some of the used ones, but they don't go for as much, and I think the market's getting a little bit saturated with them because so many people know about them. But when you find them new in the box like that, they still sell very well.
So now they're saying, let's see if I can move this.
And then I got more flatware. I've been flatware listing maniac this week. I listed 4 different sets last week, and I've already had 3 sales from those. So I've already gotten my money back and into the profit. So I've got a couple more sets to work on. Oh, and were we on a live show when I talked about the single Birkenstock I had? Or were we?
I think we did talk about the amputee.
Yeah, if anyone is here who was here the last show that I was upstairs I was on, I talked about a set of Birkenstocks that I picked up at an estate sale. And then as I sat down to list them, I realized it had all this damage on it. Clearly a dog had used it as a toy. The Birkenstocks had no wear. The person had never worn them. I bet they were pissed. But the strap got all chewed up. The other one was okay though. So, and I have heard of resellers having an individual shoe and marketing it to amputees. So I thought, let me try this. So I listed it. I paid $6 for the pair. And I listed the one good one for $20 plus shipping, put amputee in it, right only, for full price, 20. When you're at the bins, especially if you can only find one of a good shoe, get it anyway, because you can market it to amputees. It sold like in 2 or 3 days of me listing it.
Well, if I was an amputee and I had to buy my shoes and then have one left over all the time, I would have a store called Best Foot Forward on eBay, and I would be selling the alternate shoe, like the shoe I wasn't using the whole time. I'm not going to become an amputee to be able to do that, but
I wonder if one idea, if you didn't want to sell pairs of shoes together, you could even get a pair of shoe and then sell each shoe separately to amputees.
I know.
And maybe individually selling them, you can make more than you could with just a thought.
Yeah. There's a whole niche right
talk
there.
About parting things out, part shoes out.
Gloves, leather gloves. You know, there's another
one. I mean, it's got to suck for these people that they go to a store, you know, unless they do go online and find things marketed for amputees. It's got to suck to have to actually buy a pair.
See, Kathy says she went out sourcing, spent $90 on clothes. They had a sale for clothes, all clothes $1. Now I have a closet full and 3 totes to get listed. The totes are sitting in the front room. Yeah, so there we go. And it's just sitting there like a big dead end looking at you. You're gonna have to get all that stuff listed. Hey, Margot's here. Let's see. Thrifty Paper Garden said, I found a wool Ralph Lauren blanket, maybe out of season, but still desirable. I will be listing that. And Linda, when you finish the cross stitch, you have to send it to Faye. That's the new rule.
I'll get right on that because I'm all over doing cross stitches.
Yeah, you look like you do a lot of cross stitch. And Chris says, I think we should start an app for that, pairing up amputees. There may already be a society that we don't know about, you know, being people that have all of our limbs. There may be something like that. I bet there's Facebook groups. I bet there's tons of Facebook groups. Amalia is checking out checking right now, and one shoe only sells well on eBay. So, you know, for you folks out there that do, and I don't know that any of you do, but that go to like Ross or Marshalls um, and buy like markdown shoes, that might be another thing too. Is to split those shoes up and sell them. So just an interesting, you know, just a whole other niche, because we don't think about things like that not being amputees. I mean, unless you've gone through something like that or know somebody that has, you just don't think about it. They had these shoes done all fancy, and I don't know how to do them the way that they had them. See how this fancy, I'm going to have to look this up to learn how to do it. See how this fancy lacing is done?
Yeah.
They're not crisscrossed.
Um,
I'm going to have to look that up and figure out how they do it.
I used to know how to do that. I'm trying to remember now.
It's skipping a hole. I'll figure these out. My shoestrings aren't very nice. They're kind of flimsy. I didn't realize there were quality issues with shoestrings. Okay, so let me work on something else that's more productive. Let's work on these. So Holly will be here tomorrow, which means I need to get some listing done. Good morning, 01 Wolf. Will says that he bought some glass Ferraris, Playmobil, Crystal Boat, some ceramics today. Nice. Flipping for fun. These are the types of things that eBay should be promoting about itself. They're the only marketplace where you can find this kind of thing. They need to quit trying to be Amazon and just be eBay. I mean, I think there are some benefits to some of the things that they're trying to do, but I agree. They are completely different marketplaces. They really are. And they just need to be who they are. I don't know why I have the remote in my hand. Let's see if I can find these dance goes.
Of course you did, Chris.
Actually found a link to a file hack page about all ways to lace shoes. I'll just save my judgment. I'll just keep it inside.
Yeah,
Linda, is that your cat in your lap?
That's Merlin. I haven't said anything before, but I know a lot of you had seen my cat Ranger. He passed away about a week and a half ago, so it's just Merlin now.
So sad. Poor Ranger. Poor little guy. Was he 4?
He was almost 6. They were almost 6. So Merlin's been a little needy being by himself now.
Flipping for fun. By the way, love your show. You guys always manage to give me a tip I did not know before you're done. We get a lot of tips from folks too, don't we, Linda?
Oh yeah.
I learn lots of stuff from other folks.
That's why I pretty much live on YouTube watching videos and stuff. Do I get something from every video? No. But do I get something almost every day because of how many videos I watch? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Roof and Faye. Yeah, it was a rough week.
Yeah.
But we're dealing. Huh. I actually think Merlin is enjoying not having to compete for my attention anymore. So what's your listing count at, Sarah? Have you started pulling some stuff like you said you were going to?
I think it's in the 730s right now. Let me look.
Oh God, Belle, that's horrible. Yeah, I had a golden retriever. She was my soulmate, my pet soulmate, and she had during her lifespan she had two major knee surgeries, a surgery called TPLO when she tore her cruciate ligament 1 year apart for the knees, and then later in life she had part of her jaw removed because she had a tumor, fast growing tumor in her jaw. And then the night she died was a pretty big bill as well, and that was also cancer. But so yeah, I get the high vet bills. Ranger was very sudden and unexpected, so he was already gone before I got him to the vet. So, and there was nothing really that could be done. But yeah, the vet bills they can be pretty nasty, but we love our pets, so we pay it and don't question it.
Yeah, that's like when Max died summer before last, I think. He was just a kitten. We probably only had him for 2 months, 3 months. And he was so tiny, but he was the sweetest cat, but he was just like puny. Like he just didn't look like he felt well. So I took him to the vet, and they were like, he's got a disease that is going to kill him within the next 10 days. There's nothing you can do. Here's a bill for $600.
Wow.
Yeah. It was hard. I mean, that kitten, I mean, we wept and wept and wept over that kitten. And, you know, we didn't want to put him down. So we just let him, and he wasn't like miserable the whole time. It just there at the very end, but he died in the middle of the night. Molly said there was a very large, beautiful gray cat that died on my property. He was under my car. Luckily, I didn't run over it. I looked everywhere for its owner. It was so sad, even though it wasn't my cat. Yeah, I know. Val says her golden is turning 14, very healthy. That bird got him good. Gina said that her daughter had the same thing with her kitten. Yeah. It's so sad. And this was just the sweetest, let me tell you, the sweetest kitten. Um, we had Jackson already, and we got this kitten. I got this kitten from the Humane Society, and I don't know, it wasn't long. It was probably 2 months, I would say, and it passed away. Like I said, you've never seen a sadder thing. When my blind husband lost his first guide dog in the front yard to a massive stroke. Took 3 family members to get him off her. I nearly died that day. Oh my gosh, that's so tragic. So tragic. Let's see, let me catch up with the chat. I was distracted. Living for Fun says, I have had cats that had that happen. It's got to be an issue where that they were born with and we had just have no clue about. I found one of my kids dead in a cat pen. Yeah, there's just nothing they can do. It's some kind of feline F5V or something. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it was horrible. She was only about 3 or 4 years old at the time. Molly says my cousin's fosters dog, so she doesn't have to pay any vet bills. And then so funny how we will not go to the doctor until we can't function, but the pets get sick and we rush them to the vet and fork over the money to help them. It's just like kids. It's the same as kids. Kim says our fur baby passed away January 26th. She was 13 years and 11 months old, our baby girl. She was a Shih Tzu, little black and white. She was sassy and sweet. and bossy, and she loved to go places with us. So cute. Any update on the scammers? Only that they were able to refund to the buyers. Six buyers got their money back. I've only gotten paid by one of the buyers that was refunded. So, if I get it, fine. If I don't get it, fine. It's, just something I'll live with. And then let's see. They said they got another one now, and she's awesome, which is good. Chris says she's sobbing. You guys stop it. Stop talking about sadness. Oh, well, while we're talking about sadness, I'm going to share this picture of little Max.
Aw.
I know that face, right? Such a cutie. And when I went to pick him up, my husband was not with me. And I sent him a picture, and he's like, "That is the ugliest cat I've ever seen." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's really not." But he was just our pride. It was like our child. It was honestly like our child, because since we don't have kids together. Yeah, he was a cutie. Now we've got Sandy, who tries to steal the straw out of your drink and climbs up the curtains and wants your food. Like, she's the biggest beggar ever. She'll put her face right in your plate. She'll get right up to you and just like, shoo, who will jump on your lap. And if she doesn't make it, just claw into you so she doesn't fall. I mean, she's a mess.
And you love her.
I do, but I just piss and moan about her constantly. Sandy the terrorist. And the thing is, Ahmed will say he loves her, like he just adores every moment with her, and he plays with her in the morning like a little kid. I mean, I just see him as like a little 10-year-old kid that's playing with a new puppy. In the morning when he's cuddling with her or something. I'm like, seriously, get that cat out of my face. But he says, "Well, you wanted another kitten. You said you wanted another kitten, and now you have one. See?" I'm like, stop it. So be careful what you wish for, I guess. She was homeless. You're right. She's your baby, don't lie. She is. And I do enjoy her sometimes, but she's just like destroying everything. And I'm hoping that once she gets a little older, she'll calm down a little and not climb up the curtains and stuff like that. I don't think that's too much to ask.
Yeah, when she's about 8 or 9.
Because she was like Ranger, so Ranger calmed down, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, I need some hope here, okay? Okay, there's one draft. She will after she's about 1.5 years. She'll calm down. She has kitten crazies. Yes, she does. I think that she's probably a little older than I originally thought. I thought she was about 5 months old, but her body has gotten much bigger. I think she's probably closer to 9 months old, I'm guessing. Like on this wallpaper border, if you'll look really closely, you'll see that I've got little kitten teeth. I wonder how that happened. Oh, this is so cute. Look at this border. Isn't that cute?
That is cute.
They get that gangly teenage look at about 6 to 8 months. She's probably closer to 8 then. I just don't remember Jackson. We got Jackson at 5 months old. This is the only thing I'm using to judge. We got Jackson at 5 months old, and he was not nearly as long as she is now, I don't think. And he looked way more kitten in the face than she does. So I'm thinking she's probably more 8, 9 months. Chris says she is listing some Southwest wallpaper border and looking for keywords Santa Fe. Found a similar one that is using Indian, Aztec, Arapaho, Pueblo. I would kind of be cautious with the word Arapaho for sure, since that is an Indian tribe.
Yeah, any Indian tribes,
Yeah.
you have to be 100% sure and proof somehow on it that it was actually made by somebody in that tribe to be able to
Yeah.
use it. Or they will be.
I don't think so, Chris. I think you can use the word Pueblo because if you wanted to. I don't know that anybody would search Pueblo border, though, wallpaper border.
Yeah, I think Pueblo you can.
I think Arapaho is a stretch, too. I don't think most people are going to say Arapaho border either. But I think Aztec's probably good. I would say Santa Fe, Southwest.
Southwestern, yeah.
Yeah. Right. She's growing up. Chin up the crazies will start to taper off soon. I think too, like I'm new experience with cats. Like I had cats when I was 20, but I don't remember that. So Jackson was my first kitten, and he's 3. I got him in June of 2015. He was 5 months old. So yeah, he's 3. And he played a lot, but he was not as wild as her. He did not climb up the furniture. He did not climb the curtains. He did not attack you from under the bed every time you walked by. She does. So I'm wondering too, I need to get her spayed. She's not spayed, I don't think. I need to do that soon. We can't even have our chief wahoo anymore here. Faye says, beans and rice. I want Mexican now. I love Mexican food. Miranda Files, Tartanette, the 18-year-old ornery old lady. Mirabelle, the sweetie girl and carb addict, loves brioche. Snitchin, the fluffball boy, and Po Boy, the big old humble bear. Wait, this has continued. Did I miss your initial post? Let me see. Oh, you have 8, all rescues or strays. Everyone has a different personality. Spice is a male, the social butterfly. Chocolate is male, the wimp. Nutmeg, the feisty girl. Cappuccino, the princess. What a huge lot. Hey, Cammie. We're talking pets and wallpaper today. So hope things are going well in your world. Let's see if I can find a comp for this. I have a feeling I'm going to be a little too chatty today and not get enough done. Got a feeling. So I have been watching on YouTube the series Long Lost Family, where there's usually it's usually 2 separate stories. One is, a person looking for a family member, and the other is another person looking for a family member. And it's like they have an American version of the show, but I'm watching the British version because I just like it better. And plus the accents are just so awesome because they're dealing with people in Great Britain. Thank you, Chris. In Ireland and all of that. I got a call from the Irish PayPal call center. He was calling to check on something, and I was just like, stay on the phone. Gosh, that that accent is so wonderful. But anyway, so I've been watching it, and if you all know anything about me, you should know that I'm very emotional. So like I cry over nothing, just nothing. You've been binge watch that too, the Miranda Files. It is so good. I just love it. I do love my Brits. I do. Um, did you watch The Crown? It's so good. Love it. But anyway, I'm just gonna have to go to Great Britain, I guess. I'm just gonna have to visit there and go because I don't want to just go to London. I want to go everywhere. I want to go to Kent and Leeds and Brighton and just everywhere. I want to go to everywhere. But anyway, so I'm watching this show. My husband likes to tease me because I sit and just cry through this show. I'm crying over the sad story. I'm crying because they found the family member. I'm crying at the reunion. Well, that happens for each person that's on there. So 6 times during the series, it's a 45-minute show. I'm sitting there sobbing. So what we'll do is I've got that Roku thing where I can put the headphones into the remote and listen because my husband will be watching something on his phone. So we're not watching the same thing. And I'll look at him and he'll be, watching the news or something. I'll look at him and he'll go like he's crying over the news or something. I'm like, I can't help it. I enjoy this show. It's very good. And I'm a very emotional person. I wish I was more stoic. I'm just not. Um, let's see. What are we talking about now? We're talking about any thought on what's the best food to feed your cats? And Thirsty Paper Garden says my eyes leak at happy and sad commercials. I know. I can't even tell a story though. I'll be reading something on Facebook and I'm like, and it's about these boys and they got straight A's on all their exams and their mom was so I just can't. I can't even tell a story without choking up. It's terrible. So anyway, Miranda File says that you feed a mix of just homemade and canned. I feed, okay, so when I got Sandy, I started feeding Meow Mix, which I never have used before. And I noticed, just in my experience, that the cat's coats looked kind of shabby. Like Jackson had never looked like that before, but his coat just looked shabby. So I went back to buying, is it called Authority? It's made by PetSmart. It's sold at PetSmart, and it's a higher. It's not like one of your national brands. It might be their high end brand. It might be like their store brand. But I've noticed in a short amount of time that their coats look so much better. I do give them cheap canned food as like I give that to them. Let's be honest, whenever they want it. So if they want it twice a day, I give it to them twice a day. But usually I do like those little Sheba ones that are 2 packs. I'll just open one for each of them. So that's what I feed. And Jackson will only, he's gotten fat over the winter, which is not unusual because he stays inside more. But Jackson will only eat pretty much what's there. He won't beg for anything. Sandy is eating her food, and she gobbles up the food that's just put out in bowls for them, and she'll try to eat her treats and Jackson's, and then she wants our food too. And I don't know if that's because she's growing, because I'm not giving her kitten food. I'm giving her real high protein, like a really highly nutritious food, but not kitten food. I don't know if it's from that. I don't know if it's because she's homeless and just is trying to eat as much as she can because she don't know, if I was homeless, I might do the same thing. I never know when my next meal is going to come. So I'm just going to eat as much as I can. I don't know. I don't know if cats have psychology like that, but that's what I feed for my cats. Kami says we have 4 cats, all fixed and no health issues so far, except the oldest has been drinking lots of water. Let's see. Nutri-Grain free all their life. Do you have a homemade cat food recipe? Do you know that the Queen's dogs, the little corgis, would get like boiled lamb liver? I was watching a show that it was her chef, and it's an older show. It was probably in the 90s. Boiled lamb liver, rice, and then like something else, maybe a vegetable in it, and that's what the corgis would eat. Not that I'm obsessed with Britain at all. I'm not. Now I'm told dry food is bad. My senior cats also drink lots of water. Thought it was the kidneys. Turned out it was the thyroid. She gets meds in her food now, much better. Dry is bad because it leaches the moisture from their system. And I have noticed that Sandy drinks more water than Jackson ever did, but Jackson is an indoor-outdoor cat. Please do not preach to me. I know the risks, but he is an outdoor-indoor cat, and I think he eats stuff out there too. I don't think he's just eating the food that I provide. I think that he is eating small animals that he catches, and he gets some fluid from that. Let's see. I can't imagine making homemade cat food for them. It would just be so time consuming. I barely make that yogurt for Ahmed, you know. Want me to make what? Cat food?
I had my golden on a raw diet. She got
Oh yeah.
raw food, yeah. Including
Jackson does not care much for people food at all. He just doesn't care. He might eat like some little deli turkey or something, but he doesn't want anything.
I have a roast beef sandwich. He loves to get little bits, and I try not to give him too much. I mean, I thought having a cat, because dogs are always beggars. But having cats, they don't need to worry about that now. Not true. Merlin begs all the time. He's got to lick my bowl after I have a bowl of cereal. If I have a roast beef sandwich, he wants some of the roast beef. If I have beef jerky, he wants some of the beef jerky.
Andy wants everything. She's like, and I get so mad at her because, I'm trying to eat. I've already fed you. I'm trying to eat. And Ahmed is just like, he puts out a separate little bowl of his stuff for her. And I'm like, you're teaching her to beg.
Cammie, what I did was I bought things like raw chicken wings, turkey necks, and yes, they can have the bone as long as it's raw. Cannot have cooked bone, but raw bone is fine. So she'd have chicken wings, turkey necks, all kinds of stuff, and beef, a lot of turkey and chicken, and then I supplemented with salmon oil, vitamin D, I think it was, because if you give salmon oil, you also have to give the vitamin D, otherwise it goes rancid in their stomach. And yogurt and various other stuff like that to supplement. And yes, she loved it, and she was super shiny, clean coat, and it is more work, but I didn't care.
If I don't know if Jackson probably would eat, raw if I would let him.
I tried to get my guys on the raw because you can buy the patties as well. It's much more expensive than doing like the way I did with Brandy, where I just gave her the chicken wings. But you can buy, if the whole bone thing makes you nervous, you can buy the patties, the frozen patties that have been ground up and everything. Which occasionally I did do that with Brandy occasionally as well, just kind of a backup in case I ran out of for regular stuff. And I tried to get the cats on that. They didn't want to have anything to do with it. I did get them for a brief time on the dehydrated raw, and they ate that like treats. But then once it became too normal, they stopped wanting that too.
They're like, no, I'm not loving this. crazy
Yeah,
things that
doing
we would
raw
do
can
for
get a
pets.
bit pricey. And yeah, it can be more time consuming, and you have to think ahead because you have to let it defrost in the refrigerator. So you've always got to have some defrosting and that type of thing. And I've been thinking about trying to try the raw again with Merlin, or at least the dehydrated raw, because he really didn't want to have anything to do with the frozen raw. But the dehydrated, I think he'll probably start up again. But, I may try that again with him. Merlin, when he was a kitten, quickly started having crystals in his bladder and his urine, which is common for male cats to get these crystals. It has to do with the pH balance of their body and how much water they drink. So it happened to him twice. He got a bladder infection with crystals, and it'd be really, really dangerous. So I had to have the cats on a urinary tract kibble, which has the right pH forms. Ever since I put them on that, I use the Purina Pro Plan urinary tract food. As soon as I put him on that, he hasn't had an issue once. I am not a fan of Purina and the big brands like that. I would much rather have him on a higher quality food or on the raw. But that food got him to stop having his urinary tract infections, and so I've just stuck with it for him just to keep him healthy. And then Ranger had to be on it just by default, because there's no way if you have two cats to feed one kibble and one another kibble. It just doesn't work.
And that's the reason. That's the exact reason that I bought this higher protein, higher nutrition food, is because I'm like, I'm not going to feed Jackson one thing and feed Sandy the other thing.
Right.
So I just compared the labels, and the food that I ended up buying was actually like more protein, more nutritious than the kitten food.
Right.
So I'm like, I hope this gives him what he needs. But the thing I like about Better Cat food too is that they don't put all the dyes and stuff.
Right.
Like Meow Mix is like 3 different colors.
Well, and when you look at the ingredients in the crap food for dogs and cats, the first ingredients like byproducts, or it's just, or that quickly moves into grain, which you don't want a lot of grains for cats and dogs. So when I got Brandy as a puppy, my golden retriever years ago, I started researching foods, and it was a whole progression before I finally got her on raw. But it was because of all the research I was doing. I wanted her to be healthy. So I started researching what was the best food, and I started off with like Nutro, and I had her on wellness for a while, but I kept going up in quality in food, which eventually led me to the raw diet after I did a lot of research on that. I know way more about pet food than most people ever should know. It's like, but I always look at the ingredients, and I look to see what the first 3 ingredients are. I don't want to see grains. I want it to be actual real meat, not byproducts.
Faye says we spend a small fortune for the guide dog's food, and the cats are not much cheaper. I know it's expensive. It's expensive, and I mean, I need to get Jackson's rabies shot this year, but it just seems, I felt like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm a newer cat person, but I just felt like the vet wanted me to bring this cat in every however many months to check it, just to take money. It's like
a lot of vets are like that. Yeah, I
don't need to bring my cat in every 6 months. It would cost $300 to take the cat in to get its checkup or whatever, and get a couple of shots. And I'm like, I'm not No, no. So like when the local place has the clinic and I can go get the rabies shot for him for $10, that's what we're gonna do.
My computer runs so slow when I'm doing a hangout like this.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, definitely due for a new computer here soon. The hangout, I think I'm fine. It's just my other pages, like trying to search for stuff on eBay.
I'm probably gonna do this for about another hour. Kim says, go to Chewy. Your first order is 50% off American Journey off dog food, and they have grain GMO, gluten-free, also free shipping. Just got a new HP laptop. My older one couldn't keep up. I love that you guys are just helping each other. And it's interesting when we just stumble on a topic like this. It's a very pet heavy topic today. It's kind of interesting. See you, Faye. Gotta go for now. Husband is hungry. His dog hasn't learned how to operate the electric can opener. She will. You're hilarious. All right, we'll see you, Faye. Thanks for hanging out. I'm starving. Anybody heard from Nancy lately? I know she's been sick.
I have not.
I'm gonna have to send her a message and check on her. Chris is using her hair dryer to remove some labels. That's good.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah. I'm going to try and do, well, I'm going to try and make the bed and do the dishes today. Make it look somewhat presentable in this house. Val says, how does your husband feel about you moving eBay upstairs? I'm in the basement area too. I asked him about it before I did it, and he seemed to be fine with it. And I have not done as well as I'd like to about keeping the area like with no inventory right here. So I am going to still work to try and keep that cleaned up. Like today when I'm done, I'm going to just take everything downstairs. But he doesn't seem to mind. And like the other day we did a live show, he was sitting on the couch. He's like, I'll just put headphones on. No big deal. So, you know, until we get a bigger place, this is just going to have to work for us right now. Sat Vision, hello. That's a new name. Thanks for being here. Nanabeth, hey, thanks for coming. Look at this wallpaper border. Isn't it cute?
That is cute.
I love little birdies. I don't know what that birdie is.
That
Is
goes
that an
with
Oriole?
I just
Oh, cute. I love birds. Yeah, my husband's pretty low maintenance. I mean, he's pretty low maintenance. Feed him. He likes it when I wait on him a little bit, which is no big deal. He likes tea time for sure. But yeah, he's pretty low maintenance. Diane says, mine's the same. Just feed him and he's good. Yeah, it's pretty much as long as he's got clean socks and underwear, which I managed to do 80% of the time. It's just that he will say at 5:30 in the morning, I don't have any socks in my drawer. And I'm like, you couldn't tell me yesterday that you took the last pair of socks? Like, because days fly by. I don't know about you guys, but days fly by. And then I realize I haven't done laundry for over a week. It just happens. It just accidentally happens. And I hate to, but I probably should just go buy him 50 pairs of socks. Then I wouldn't have to worry so much about it. Val says my husband goes to the flow, doesn't care what I do as long as I'm happy. I keep him. Yeah, that's pretty much the boat that I'm in. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do is just buy him a whole bunch of socks. It's not that I don't. I wish there were two of me, honestly. Somebody that could stay home and be the housekeeper and cook the meals and plan and make the desserts and all of that. And the other one can work on eBay. I don't know. I don't manage very well separating those two tasks. Like I'll spend too much time doing eBay or, yapping. And then I'm like, crap, can't get all the work done on the house. Which I've got a good guy. He doesn't say much about it, but I know it bothers him to a degree because he says he really compliments me when I've done the housework. So I just wish if I could figure out. I'm just too spontaneous, I guess. And then the next thing you know, it's Thursday night. You haven't done a thing on the house, and you don't know what you're having for dinner. Struggle is real. Okay, Chris wants to know, how did painting go with Holly? Well, let me tell you, we bought the rollers. And someday I'll open the can of paint. Annabeth says, I'm going in too many directions. I go from one extreme to the other, and nothing ever seems to get completely done. I know. I've been trying to paint my bedroom for 6 months. And that struggle is just real. Just is real. And it just goes, yeah, end of story, Chris. Sorry. I know I'm a disappointment. Trying to find this wallpaper border. Yeah. Well, at least I'm in good company with the house not always being 100% clean or as clean as I'd like it to be. The bed doesn't get made every day, although I do love to get into a bed that's made. There are dishes in the sink right now. But because of the work that I do, the work that you do, we get to do other stuff, right? Pay bills or go on vacations or buy another car or whatever it is. We get to do something.
My dishwasher started to die on me this week, so now I have to hand wash my dishes until I can afford to get a new one, which will be a while.
So, funny story. Look here. You make time to redecorate your daughter's and your mom's homes. Make time for you too. I know. If you will just come up and help me, I'll do it. If you'll just come up, I'll make you actually a good meal. Not soup this time. I will make you a good, solid meal. And you could just come up one day and we could just knock it out. We just knock it out. I bet it wouldn't take us very long. Val said, I watched people saying, get a planner. Haha, yeah, right. I plan to wake up tomorrow. The problem with, okay, just tell me when you can. Set a day. Like the only time in recent couple weeks, I can't do Wednesday of this week. And that's it for the next 2 weeks. I can't do Wednesday. So, let me know what you got with your aunt, your mom, and all that, and then we'll plan. But the thing about planners is I forget that I have a planner, and I never look at it again. Like, I'll put things in it. It's like a diary for me. I'll write one date, one page, and then I'll never look at it again. It never becomes a habit. I have like 2 very good friends. And we need to pick a date for Indy. Yes, we do. I've got 2 very good friends that everything's in their planner. And it's color coordinated and all crazy. And I'm just not that person. Yeah, a planner would stress you out with what you didn't get done. One of the things that I can do, though, that does help is plan meals. Yeah, exactly, Annabeth. I'll put something on the calendar and forget that I put it on to look on the calendar. But I do plan meals now because don't I ask you guys like way too often? What do you have for supper? What's for dinner? What are we eating? Because I have a hard time planning meals. So I will just pull the calendar off the wall, just write down a few meals that I make, and then that's what we're going to have for the next week. That's another thing. I forget what I can cook. This is terrible. There's got to be some kind of brain damage in my head. I mean, seriously, I forget what I can cook. Let's see. This Thursday or next Monday? Let's do Thursday. Val says yes, Nana. Me too. We're halfway into March. Mine still says February. Yeah, well, it happens. I told my mom it's her fault. They drank when pregnant back then. Thanks, Mom.
I know I always blame all of my issues on my mom. She smoked, she drank, she was 41 when she had me back in the 60s when that wasn't common. So I had lots of strikes against me.
Yeah. Crazier than a shithouse mouse. That's what my mom is. Crazier than a March hare. Let's see. Let's see. We need to have a live painting party. That way we can give backseat instructions and tell you what spots you missed. That's pretty funny. We'll see if Chris is up for that. Open question to all. 1, did you plan ahead to go full-time or did you just go for it? 2, did you get a backlog ready to go full-time? Linda, I'll defer to you and then I'll tell my story. Only recently started using a planner. I use it only as a calendar. Basically, I don't look at it every day. She said, well, we didn't know. When I shop and make a list of meals, we can make it, hang it up. It's a very loose plan, but it helps. I have thought about this, and it's actually just writing down the meals that I can make on just index cards and then slipping them on an envelope on the side of the refrigerator, just because I forget. Like I'll forget that I can make something and then I won't make it for 3 months and then I'll remember that I can make that again, but it's terrible. But go ahead, Linda. Because you did transition to full time.
I started doing this part-time as a second income because the job I had wasn't going to pay enough. And I'd had this in the back of my head of something to do. My brother had done something similar. So when the job I finally got after I moved to Colorado just wasn't going to be quite enough, it was either do this finally or get a second job, and I didn't want a second job. So I started just to be a second income. Got better at it, got bigger, and eventually realized I loved this. And so my plan was eventually to go full time, that this is what I wanted to do. But I didn't want to do that until I had my debt paid off and money in the bank. Unfortunately, life didn't let me wait that long because things at my job got real bad. I was extremely unhappy, and I was probably going to murder somebody if I had stuck around at the job for any longer. So, but before I was technically ready, I went ahead and quit the job and went full time. So the way I did it is not the way I would suggest. I really wish I could have waited until I was more financially stable. It'd be a lot less stressful. But sometimes life just, doesn't let you do it the way you really want to do it. And that's kind of what happened to me.
And I worked at a corporate job. I went on sick leave essentially and was doing this just part-time during that time. So I was on sick leave for 6 months. So my salary was a step down then. So I kind of got used to that salary. And then I went on unemployment for 6 months. So that was another step down in salary because I got used to that salary. And as I was doing that, my husband started to pick up more of the bills because he could. And then I started to increase my sales on eBay. So it took about a year before I was not getting any money. I was off for that year. But I mean, if I had to, I don't know if I could live on what I make right now. I would have to work harder. I would have to be doing something different. Um, I could almost afford it. Maybe if I had a roommate, I could afford it. But necessity is a great motivator, Chris. I think that definitely drives you. But I don't think it's a good idea to quit your job and to do this, because it takes a while to build it up. And there's a learning curve. Of course, Will is not new at doing this, but I think if the more money you can put away to kind of plan for those times when your sales aren't as good, to kind of have that crutch, I think that's better. But necessity will drive you for sure. Our list is inside a cabinet door. It's just on paper. It helps a lot. I'm going to do that, Gina, and try. And one of the things that I'll do is I like to take pictures of the food that I make. I'm going to go back through and look at some of my pictures. So maybe that'll help. Val says, answer to question. Stumbled on eBay in 1997 buying Beanie Babies. Had 2 toddlers at home and started selling their baby clothes and toys. Never stopped. Was full-time for years and now very part-time. Chris says, I think it's like having kids. You truly wait until you can afford it and it will never happen. And this is so true. Val said, I couldn't support us with eBay now. Years ago, too saturated now. I just think, I mean, I think there's still money there. But I think you have to hustle more for it. I do have to say I've loved this job more than I've loved any other job I've ever done.
Oh, no kidding. I can't even fathom the thought of going back to a 9-to-5 type job or working for somebody else. I love, as stressful as it is, especially during months like last month, and as stressful as it is, it's not nearly as stressful as dealing with people you don't respect at a job and being told to do things that you don't agree with, and it's just night and day.
Yeah. Well, and if God forbid I lost my husband, and I had to step up and start being the breadwinner again, I honestly would downsize my life to what I could afford. I honestly would, because I mean, I could increase my income for sure, but I just don't want to go. I don't want to clock in somewhere. I don't want to give other people my time.
Right. I love the flexibility of this job. This past week, I've been able to help a friend of mine that just had a baby. Not even, or 2 weeks, yeah, 2 weeks ago today. 2 weeks today. She had a really bad, hard labor that in the end, they ended up having to do C-section anyway, even after 3 days of labor. So she's had a lot of recovery. And so I've been able to go over every day and walk her dogs. She's got 2 big dogs, so I've been able to go over and keep them entertained so they don't feel neglected, and vacuum her house and all that kind of stuff. And I've been able to go over and do that every day. Could not have done that with a job.
Right, right. Nana Beth says, I have a full-time job at home, work for a website. I do their fraud. Ooh, that sounds fun. I used to work in fraud too. And plus you have 3 eBay stores. I don't know how you manage those. 2 Etsy stores and now Amazon. I work from the time I get up until the time I go to bed. But I mean, I work a lot of hours too. But when I don't want to work, I can just veg. But this does not feel as much like work as my other job did. It was a thankless job that was just so bound up with political bullcrap that I would never go back. So Chris says, if I lose my husband, she hopes to be the one to find him. You're silly. Will says, if I double what I'm doing now on paper, it would work, but space would be an issue. I'd have to sort that out. So you either have to, I don't know, you'd either have to maybe rent a small storage space. So you have to kind of allow for that extra expense, or not buy anything big. I'm not sure what your living situation is, but that is an issue here too, is space to store things. Annabeth says, but I wouldn't give it up for nothing. Anything better than going back in a call center with 300 people wall to wall. Yeah. Val says, we did that, downsized to no bills, no fancy cars, just a mortgage years ago. We were keeping up with the Joneses. That's no life. Annabeth says, my brain checks out every now and then and it takes a break. Yeah. Soul sucking is the term I like to use for my corporate job. That is the word. Yes, totally. I agree. It does have that kind of effect, and they're taking years of your life. They were taking 45, 50 hours a week of my life, and I hated it. I hated every minute of it. So.
Some people, that's what they like your husband. I hear that from a lot of resellers, spouses. They like they like having a job and a structured work like that, and the knowing how much they're going to bring in each week and all that type thing. And thank goodness there are lots of people that's what they want, because that lets those of us that don't do what we want to do.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, the fact that he has a steady income allows me to do this, and I don't have to worry. I don't have to think about, can I cover the mortgage this month? Chris says, life's too short to give that much away. I'd rather get by with much less stuff and do what I love. Me too. And just by nature of what we're doing, we can have things, possessions, a lot cheaper than most people. Just because of what we do, we find those things. I mean, I would say that a good 80% of the things that are in my house right now are thrifted, that I did not pay retail or even a sale price for. I got it at a thrift store. And that's huge when you're able to figure out that you can do that. Let's see. Val says, I got to raise all 3 of my kids at home. Thank you, eBay. Nana Beth says, people working outside the home think they have better job security, but that's just an illusion. It is so true. You could go in and be downsized tomorrow. You could be laid off tomorrow. And it is an illusion. You never know what can happen. And for a lot of folks that are living paycheck to paycheck, that's devastating. They end up losing houses and cars and all of that. And, like things like I don't have health insurance now. That's just something that I don't have. But I have learned that what I paid my doctor for my co-insurance, my co-payment, is exactly what I pay my doctor now. So that's the same. I shop around and find the cheapest price on my medications. I You know, fortunately, I knock wood, haven't had any kind of catastrophic health incident, but you know, that's a concern, but I'm not even worried about that. What are they going to do? Let's see. Val says, I bought a new couch. I hate it. I was sorting clothes on an older couch at Goodwill. I wanted to go grab an Afghan from the linens where I can go to sleep. So Val, there is the couch that I bought that I hate. I paid $1,300 for this couch that my cats have scratched the crap out of. We've only had it for a year. It is so uncomfortable and you can't lay on it. But yeah, so I get your couch remorse. Veranda's file says, happened to me, got back to work after Christmas break, got pink slip, position eliminated. See? Will says, what worries me is when I have no sales for 3 days, do I have the mental I have the mental ability to cope with that being self-employed? Okay, so what you need is you need a network of people that do what you do that can talk you through that rough spot. Because if you've kind of planned for financially that I've got this little bit tucked away that's going to take care of what I didn't sell those 3 days, or my sales will pick up in a couple of days. You know, as long as you've got that part taken care of, you really just need people that can talk you down off the ledge when you are stressing out about, crap, I haven't sold anything. What can I do? What's happening? What's going on in my store? Take a look, you know what I mean? Chris says, so true, but there are people who can't be left to make their own schedule. My husband is a hardworking man, but if he didn't have to answer to someone, he wouldn't have the discipline for this job. It's like me, 2 recliners, console in the middle. I can feel the metal bars. It's not even that. It's just this couch sits up way too high off the floor. Like the seat is not a normal couch height. Plus, we've got it pushed all the way against the wall. So if I want to recline it, I got to pull it all the way out. And then the console middle means you can't lay down. So I'm going to try and rectify that soon when I get a different couch. Gina says, not having health insurance freaks you out. I can imagine. So this is what my doctor told me. And it depends on where you live. I live in Ohio. And my doctor, who's a very good doctor, said, when I didn't have insurance and I was going to see him, he said, well, you know, you can shop around for these labs and call and get the best price. Well, did I ever know that? No, that I could call different labs and see what's this going to cost. I don't have health insurance. It ended up being that the place that was right next to him in the same building actually gave me a discount because I didn't have insurance. They gave me the insurance rate. So you can do things like that. He also said, you're almost better off not having insurance if you live here, because, you know, there are deductibles that you have to meet and there's co-insurance. And for most situations, not all, most situations, it's better to not have the to not have insurance. And I'm just telling you what he told me, because here, if you go to an Ohio health facility and you don't have insurance, they will prorate your bill down according to your income and write off the rest, because they are a charitable organization, and to maintain that status, they have to like donate a certain number, or they have to do something like that. So it ended up costing me, when I went for my asthma a couple of years ago, about, I don't know, it was about 30%. I pay about 30% of my hospital bill. They paid the rest, or 25%, and they paid the rest. So if I had paid insurance premiums, I probably would have still paid 20%. Now, that's not gonna, if you have a massive heart attack and you have open bypass surgery, that's probably not going to be it's going to be financially devastating anyway. But I'm kind of, I don't go to the doctor unnecessarily. I'm real cautious about going, but there are ways around it. You can buy insurance too.
Yeah, I'm on insurance. I buy it through the Colorado Health Connect. So basically the I guess
Obamacare, or the American Healthcare
right.
Act.
So, I have my insurance, and, we do get our healthcare credit, which, if you don't take it through the year, then you write that off on your taxes. If you do use it, and you can use any percentage, either all of it or none. This last year I didn't use it at all, so I'll be able to get that back via my taxes this year. This year I'm taking a portion of it so that I'm not putting out as much monthly for my health insurance. So I'm basically paying $200 a month for my insurance by using my tax credit, part of my tax credit.
And
it
see,
was
that's
going to be
affordable.
Yeah, it was going to be $600 a month if I didn't use any of my tax credit. But using part of my tax credit, I brought it down to a manageable $200 a month. Last year I was paying $400 a month, and then that insurance I was using, was Kaiser, was going to go up to $600 as well. And I actually switched to a different insurance that's about the same. But anyway, so I mean, it's there, and I would get more stressed out at not having insurance in case of something cataclysmic. And I'm getting that age where, I'm 53 now. I don't want to be without insurance. That the stress would give me a heart attack of not having insurance.
It used to, but I'm at that stage where I'm like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And it's just, healthcare is so expensive.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And you get so much less now for so much more money. It costs so much more to get so much less than what we used to get, 10 years ago.
Yeah. My rate was really high, Val. I checked the marketplace too, and it was really expensive for me. So I did not opt into it, but I may look at it again. But right now I don't have any, and I'm just self-pay. My sister doesn't have any either. And she had thyroid cancer last year and had to have outpatient surgery and stuff. She's self-pay. She just makes payments. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate that healthcare is as expensive as it is in this country. Let's see.
I did get to take advantage of my insurance though, because I had to get the Tdap shot so that I would be able to go see my friend's baby after he was born. That's the one that it's the tetanus, but what I was really needing was the whooping cough. You don't want to be around a 6-month-old or younger baby if you have not been immunized for a whooping cough, because you can be a carrier and not know it and give it to the baby. So I had to get the Tdap shot because I hadn't had one in forever. And it would have cost me $65 for the shot without my insurance, and I got it for free through my copay. So I was very excited about that.
Will says, would it be cheaper to go abroad and pay to have an operation done? It could be. I mean, I guess that would be something to look at. I know that, like for dental stuff, like my husband had to have some dental work done, and it was going to be thousands of dollars to have it done here. And so we waited until we went on vacation to We waited until we went on vacation to Jordan, where my husband's from. They did his teeth same day, everything, and it was like 100 JD. So it was probably like $130 or something like that. Yeah, about $130. Um, so if I had to have major dental for sure, I would just wait until we were going to go vacation and get that done. Kathy says we couldn't afford $200 a month payment. My husband is a vet. I don't have insurance. I get it. I get it. Healthcare is a touchy subject in this country. It is a um,
And it's a very individual thing. One person's situation is going to be different than another. So,
yeah, because your medical history is different and your needs are different. Huckleberry Planet says, also dental is inexpensive in Mexico. I don't have personal experience, but relatives have had good experiences. And I would think that if you were having surgery and you went to another westernized country, you probably should be okay. Like, I wouldn't be afraid to, go to Europe or go to Canada and have a surgery. The problem is when it's in a medical emergency and you have to have it now. You'd be surprised at how the cost changes when you self-pay. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's amazing how they can just chip away at the price because you can't afford to pay for insurance. So, Linda, do you think that these are probably vintage? So, okay, so it's got a metal heel thing here.
is that like a repair spot or?
It's on both of them. It's supposed to prevent the heel drag issue.
Right.
And then there's the label. It's hard to see, but it says made exclusively for the Hall Brothers Company by Johnston and Murphy. And I can't find anything similar. And like, look how thick the soles are on these. They're leather.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they're a vintage shoe.
Nothing comes up on Google on that company?
I checked eBay and WorthPoint. Let me go look at Google now. Let's see. Yep, you're right, Val. And here in Ohio, it's very, like, the price changes dramatically. Gloria says, I have health insurance. My employer was hospitalized a few years ago with vertigo. And my out-of-pocket cost was still over $2,000. Nanabeth says, isn't there some sort of penalty when filing federal taxes if you don't have health insurance? Yes, there is. And Chris says that looks like a vintage label. And every hospital has a charity care account for those who can't pay for something catastrophic. And there's supposed to be a penalty, but if your person knows how, you can get it taken off. You're right. You can get forgiven for that penalty.
And we are not tax experts. This is not advice.
No. I'm absolutely. So Hall Brothers is a defunct department store chain out of Cleveland. Let's see when they closed. It looks like it closed started closing in 1981.
Sounds vintage to me.
Yep. Oh, it looks like Marshall Fields bought them in 1970. Okay, so I would say that these probably are from the 60s or 70s. Cool. So little people know, they don't want you to know. Go to H&R Block. We haven't ever paid the fine. You need a bag full of golden eagles under the bed for a rainy day. When you're ill instead of normal insurance, then yeah, whatever it takes. If you've got a bag full of golden eagles, I will trade you for some lovely latch hook. You can just ship them to me, and I'll ship this to you. It seems fair. Okay, let me try. I'm just going to list these as vintage, and I don't know what to price them at, but they don't have they don't have a size. Okay, guys, I'm getting ready to shut her down here in a couple of minutes because I need to make some lunch, make a couple of beds, do some TV. So somebody mentioned Roseanne before. Can we discuss? Yes, Chris. Rock on with the Roseanne.
About the reboot, the new Roseanne show? Well, that's what I'm waiting. Has the reboot new show started yet? I don't think so.
I don't think it has.
That's what I'm waiting for it to start because I want to see. I know they do make some jokes about it. I saw a clip, and there was a joke where Dan says something about I guess somebody says, "I thought you were dead, Dan." He's, "Why do people keep thinking I've died?" Type thing. So they work jokes into it. I don't know if they're going to actually say what happened. I haven't heard yet. I watched there was some show where they were talking about the new reboot and they were interviewing all the actors and everything, and I kept waiting for them to say how they were going to explain the fact that Dan died, because how they ended the series was they had that whole season when they won the lottery, but then at the end of that season it was a dream sequence or story sequence. Roseanne was writing a book, and she was writing a book to deal with the fact that Dan had died at the end of the previous season when we thought he had actually survived it because of this dream sequence or book sequence, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so he had died. So yeah, I'm very curious to see if they're going to say something or what they're going to do about that. And yeah, they're bringing back both daughters. I mean, both actresses that played Becky, they're both going to be in it. The original Becky actress will be Becky. The second Becky actress is going to be somebody else on the show. And yes, of course, there will be jokes about that in the show as well.
It'll be the old set. Nanabeth says he went up to take care of his mother and ran off with the nurse and had a heart attack. And oh, well, am I wrong?
What? I think the show is going to be great. You know, it definitely ran its course back on the original show. Obviously, they were doing a whole jump the shark thing with the lottery and Dan dying and all that. It had run its course at that time, but so much has happened since. And I think the show's going to be excellent. I think it's going to be just as hilarious, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm not always excited about reboots. But this one I actually am excited about. And the fact that everybody is coming back, you know, all of the original actors, you know, that goes to show you when all the original actors are all four coming back, and they do come back, that says something about the show and everything. And everyone's coming back, you know. I mean, everyone that's alive. Becky's husband, that actor died, so obviously he won't be there. But they are honoring him in a way, because I think one of the grandkids or something is named after him. So you know, they're honoring him in the show. And I know
Is Johnny Galecki coming back? I don't know. Johnny Galecki is over on
Johnny Galecki
Third
is
Rock.
I think I saw they did interview him. So Big Bang Theory, yeah.
Yeah, Big Bang.
I think he's going to be back in some capacity, maybe for the first episode or something, because I think he and Darlene divorced. But I think he is in at least one episode, because the show that I watched where they were interviewing everyone, I saw a clip with him in it. So he must be back in some capacity. I don't know if he's going to be a full-time character in it or not. Yeah, that whole Dallas thing with the dream season, because that was a case of they completely regretted that whole season, so they made it a dream sequence. That was just bizarre. That was.
Chris says she had a boy crush on Johnny Galecki. I have a boy crush on Johnny Galecki now. Yeah, it was such a good show, and people really related to it. The kids weren't perfect. The marriage wasn't perfect. The family members weren't perfect. They struggled for money. Like people related to that show so much. I mean, it's not the same in a lot of ways, but it's kind of the way people related to Keeping Up Appearances, if you've ever watched that show, because they've got all of these family members that are so wildly different, and they have very real characteristics, like snooping or eavesdropping or, you know, being drunk or whatever. So I think people really do relate to it. Bye, Will. See ya. But it's such a relatable show. And probably will be very relatable to us at our age, because they're our age, you know. So I'm looking forward to it, even though I don't normally watch. I don't normally follow series on TV. I usually wait until there's a whole season I can watch. Yeah, but it should be good. Normal family life, messy kitchen life. Yep. I didn't know the actor who played Becky's husband died. Joke is that Darlene is Dr. Hofstetter, David's ex on The Big Bang Theory, enough to do my head in. I love this stuff. I love you guys.
Yeah, the actor that played Becky's husband, don't quote me on this, I think he committed suicide, but I'm not sure, or drugs, or, you know, one of the things that always seems to happen to kid actors. Not that he was a kid, but Yeah, even the youngest son, that actor is back. So I mean, everybody came back of the family. I don't know about some of the side actors, the friends. I don't know if they'll be back.
2020 has a reboot special on. That's what you must have watched.
Yeah, I think that's what I watched.
You know who is it? Michael McKean, who played Jackie's boyfriend for a while.
Michael McKean?
Not what is his name? Hold on. It was our boyfriend's name was Gary, I think.
The one that she married, that she had the baby with?
Maybe she did marry him.
Because she got pregnant and then she married the dad.
Nope, not him. Maybe this is not. Maybe that he's who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of somebody else. Let me see. Michael O'Keefe. I was thinking he was on that. I always get his name wrong. He was on Roseanne. He played. Let's see. Let's see if I can figure out who it is. Bring back my 90s. Jackie's hilarious. Oh, he will be back. Michael O'Keefe. I'm trying to see who he played on Roseanne. He had like a longer hair and a goatee. Come on now. Fred. Yeah. It was Jackie's husband in 8 episodes. Fred Oakland. He played. All right. Could they bring George Clooney back too, please?
Yeah, really.
I think that's probably going to get out of their budget. That's what I'm thinking. All right, folks. I'm going to jump off here and get some work done. I'm going to try and sell these wingtips for about $35.
I bet you sell them too.
I didn't watch all of these episodes, all of Roseanne. I probably have watched half, maybe, but I did like it. But anyway, thanks everybody for being here, and I hope you got some work done. I didn't get as much done as I should have, but I was just a chatty Cathy today. But I'm sure I'll be working on this tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe there'll be a little live show tomorrow. I'm not sure. Either that or a sales results. But it was a great day. I enjoyed spending time with all of you. Chris, I will text you about what day? Thursday? Yeah. And then I'm looking forward to getting that room painted. I should put them higher at like 50. Okay. See you, Val. Go, Moms, get some corned beef. Nice.
Yeah,
all right. I'll see you, everybody. Thanks for hanging out, Linda.
Bye, everyone.
All right. See ya.